and welcome back to part 2 of the Britney Spears Iceberg. If you've ended up here without watching the first one, I strongly recommend that you go and quickly check out that last video and then come back to this one for a little bit more context. Alright, that's probably enough said. Tier 5. Tom's Diner is about her life. Tom's Diner is a 1982 song by Suzanne Vega. Britney would later appear on a 2015 disco cover by Giorgio Moroder, and depending on your interpretation, the song on a conceptual level is about alienation and experiencing life, quote-unquote, through a pane of glass. This entry, I believe, is suggesting that Britney's choice, if she didn't have the choice, in this was a reference to how she goes through life in an extremely isolated manner. Blackout written on a napkin. Blackout is Britney's 5th album and is heavily considered to be, by fans, one of her best. In the 2021 Netflix documentary, Britney vs. Spears, it is revealed that Britney wrote the entire album on a Starbucks napkin. However, if you were to be argumentative, in which I guess is the path we're taking, Britney's only credited as a co-writer on 2 of the 12 songs, so I think it's safe to say that this may be a bit of a dramatization. Most photographed person. Now, when you go through the thought process of who could possibly be the most photographed person in history, it's actually pretty hard to go past Britney Spears. Now, there's no exact science to this. Some sources say that it's Queen Elizabeth II, but considering how Britney, through fame and controversy, has been harassed by the paparazzi for well over 20 years, she's definitely got to be on the shortlist of candidates at the very least. Paparazzi harassment. A large part of Britney's story is intertwined with the paparazzi. It really is a they helped build her and helped destroy her type of situation. In this story, the paparazzi play the nameless group of antagonists, and it really is easy to view them that way, but I just want to highlight a quote from the Britney vs. Spears documentary. As a photographer, you can get a few $100,000 for a picture of Britney. Photographer Adam Gallup says. After hearing that, it's hard to put any blame on the paparazzi themselves, but more so blaming the system that they find themselves in. Bullied with no reason. So presuming this literally means that she's been bullied for no reason, this is in reference to the harassment that multiple parties seemingly direct towards Britney. You could very easily make arguments that Britney has been bullied by the media, her father, the music industry, the legal system, yada yada yada. 2007 breakdown. 2007 was not the greatest year for Britney, so I think it's probably best if we just go through the main dot points here in review style. February. Just one day after checking out of a rehab facility in the Caribbean, Britney shaves her head, and 2 days later, she checks into the Promises Malibu alcohol and drug rehab treatment facility, and then checks out less than 24 hours later. She returns the following day as her ex-husband, K-Fed, asks for an emergency hearing regarding the custody of their 2 sons. She completes her program on March 20th. May. Britney posted an emotional letter to her website and opened up about her experience in rehab. Recently, I was sent to a very humbling place called rehab, she wrote. I truly hit rock bottom, and to this day, I don't think that it was alcohol or depression. I was like a bad kid running around with ADD. July. Britney and K-Fed's divorce is finalized. August, Britney gets into a car accident and flees the scene because she does not have a California state driver's license. She's later charged with 2 counts of hit and run. September, her big comeback at the MTV Music Awards is a flop. October. On October 1st, a court ordered Britney to hand over custody of her 2 sons, then ages 1 and 2, to her ex-husband, K-Fed. A few days later, her bodyguard, Tony Barretto, accuses the singer of child abuse, launching an investigation against Britney. November, finally a W for Britney. Her 5th studio album, Blackout, debuts at number 2 on the Billboard charts. December, Britney is placed under a conservatorship controlled by her father. 2010 breakdown. Unlike a 2007 breakdown, Britney's 2010 breakdown is largely shrouded in mystery and speculation. The gist of the situation is that Britney cancelled her 2010 tour short and went MIA for a few months. Upon her return, fans were quick to notice that Britney was visually appearing to be more unhealthy, as if she'd aged a few years in just a few months, as well as signs of medication abuse. Some speculate that upon finding out that her conservatorship will not be voided, Britney had a breakdown consisting of medication abuse, which in turn forced the cancellation of her tour. Tier 6. Banana Alice. This refers to an anonymous user on the site TinyChat, which is an online chat room that incorporates audio chat, who fans strongly believe to be Britney herself. Fans came to this conclusion through the user's vocal mannerisms, which sound remarkably similar to Britney's, as well as a Twitter account which has the same username, that tweeted thoughts and feelings in a very Britney-esque style. Although Alice's fun was seemingly innocent, the vibes eventually soured when a user who went by the username Over It posted to the XL forum where he tore Britney to shreds. Over It claimed that Britney didn't actually care about her fans and that putting on an engaging show wasn't actually high on her priority list. He listed off Britney's secrets, as well as claiming that she wrote Work Bitch about him. Chaos ensued, and XL went into a frenzy, filling various nasty threads about the situation, which have since been deleted. Banana Alice made an appearance on XL, confirming Over Its claims about her user, however states that the real Britney wasn't in the picture. Nobody knows if Banana Alice was actually Britney, and no one knows if the XL Banana Alice was also the same as the TinyChat Banana Alice. Not me, not anyone. Project Rose. In the summer of 2019, Britney began posting cryptic photos on Instagram that featured roses. Britney in roses, Britney surrounded by roses, Britney's roses, photos Britney had found are roses. Britney hasn't actually confirmed what Project Rose is, but what we do know is that it's a project and it features roses. And it's apparently inspired by Beyonce and Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City. Whatever that means. Some believe that Project Rose is a code, and her constant use of the 3 roses in her Instagram captions spell out SOS. Some suggest that Britney was subliminally revealing that she's a trafficking victim, as in her 2021 court testimony, she compared the conservatorship to being a victim of sex trafficking. History behind Rebellion. As mentioned earlier, Rebellion is an unreleased song by Britney. It's reworked from one of her poems and is about the abuse that she's faced from her team. This song was allegedly supposed to be on Blackout, as we can see on the leaked Blackout demo CD track listing. However, it never made it onto the final album. The only reason that we even know about the existence of this song is all because Britney supposedly organised the promotion for the song, which included a spot on her website, as well as sharing a 50-second teaser of the song. We've also heard the intro of the song, when somebody recorded Britney playing Rebellion through a car radio before racing off. Why this song was never released is unknown, but it's heavily speculated that Britney's team shut down the project, as it's pretty clear that it's a commentary on the abuse that she faces from them. One of the producers on the song, Jeff Duran, stated, "Yes, you can say that the song is about the ones who pull the strings. Britney came up with the lyrics based on a personal poem that she wrote a couple of weeks leading up to our session." To this day, the song is unreleased, but Duran has stated that he's released it on YouTube and torrent sites, only for them to be taken down, so presumably there are copies out there. Outrageous is cursed. So we touched on Outrageous a little bit earlier. That's the one where Britney injured her knee during the filming of the music video. However, that's not the only, let's say, unfortunate thing to come from Outrageous. You see, Outrageous was written and produced by convicted sex offender R. Kelly, and due to all of the negative occurrences surrounding Outrageous and the superstitions of the Britney fans, they've just written off Outrageous as a cursed event in the Britney timeline. Britney's Haunted Mansion. Britney and Justin lived in a humble mansion on Glen Rising Road, located at the top of Sunset Strip, before they break up in 2002. According to Spears' former makeup artist, Julianne Kay, Britney didn't like the house. In fact, she was absolutely terrified of it, and her fear started after a supposed paranormal event. Britney was absolutely convinced that her place was haunted, preferring to stay in hotels over the house, and even moved out of the mansion due to this fear. Tragically, this is the same house that Hollywood actress Brittany Murphy and her husband, screenwriter and director Simon Monjack, were living in when the pair passed away in 2009. Brittany Murphy had actually made similar claims to Spears as well when living in the house, saying that she also found it wildly unsettling and preferred to stay in nearby hotels over the house. Yep. This feels illegal. This feels illegal refers to a moment during Britney's Piece of Me Vegas residency in which she speaks to the audience, saying, Honestly, without the music and the mic, it just kind of feels illegal. Now, reading into this, some fans believe that Britney said this as a reaction to the fact that she doesn't typically get free rein to speak to the public without approval by her team. Or this is just a sly self-deprecating jab at the fact that she uses playback. I'm Scared refers to the 2008 song from Welsh singer Duffy, which Britney covered as an interlude during her circus tour. Duffy has been a public supporter of Britney in her fight to be released from her conservatorship. And the cover's really good. I don't really think there's anything more to say about this entry, so let's move on. Help signals on Instagram. Some believe that Britney was signaling for help during the conservatorship through her Instagram posts. Comments asking her to caption her photos with certain emojis or wear a particular colour in her next post if she was in danger appeared to be answered by Britney, as she coincidentally would do as the comments would say. Patterns seemed to be emerging with every passing post that fans just couldn't ignore any longer, from asking her to post an image with doves if she's in danger, which she obliges to do, to then asking her to post a video that has a Christmas tree in it, even though it wasn't Christmas anymore, which she obliges to do, to wearing yellow in her next post, which she obliges to do. There seemed to be no other answer for fans other than she's in trouble. Britney's social media manager has gone on record though, stating that this is all coincidental, but at the end of the day, who really knows? Tier 7. She predicted her future. Britney may be more aware of what lies ahead of her than most, as she's accurately predicted her future through her music. So this entry refers to a number of Britney's released and unreleased music that accurately coincides with circumstances that she's been entangled with in both her personal and professional life. The themes presented include her public breakdown, rebelling against her label, and even her thoughts and feelings about her fame. From Mona Lisa, which somewhat predicts her public breakdown, to Lucky, someone in the limelight who appears to have a perfect life but is hurting inside, to of course the unreleased Rebellion. And Britney has been vocal about her current and future situations, even if she was yet to experience them yet. All in all, it appears that Stronger perfectly resembles her current situation, thanks to the breaking away of her conservatorship in 2021. Deleted Instagram posts. Britney has quite the habit of deleting, although occasionally re-uploading, her Instagram posts. Britney's never given an explanation as to why she does this. However, the practice has become so common that there's actually Instagram pages that exist with the sole intention of re-uploading the post that she's deleted. Yeah, that's really all there is to this entry, so I'll move on. Jason Trawick. Jason Trawick is Britney's former talent agent and also her ex-fiancé. After her split from KFN in 2007, Brit and Trawick went public with their relationship at the 2010 52nd Grammy Awards. The two were engaged in 2011 and eventually broke it off in 2013. However, old court documents have surfaced that suggest that the two were actually secretly married. Now, this has not been confirmed by either parties, but Trawick was also one of Britney's co-conservators. Lou M. Taylor. Lou Taylor is Britney Spears' former business manager and CEO of TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group, which is actually the next entry in this iceberg. To say that Lou Taylor is a disliked figure in the entertainment industry would be quite the understatement. I don't think it's a reach to say that she's hated by Britney fans, especially due to her alleged involvement with Britney's conservatorship. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, of corruption allegations centered towards Lou Taylor. Definitely more than we can actually cover in an iceberg video. A lot of attention surrounds Lou Taylor, specifically surrounding Britney's money, where it is and who controls it. Lou Taylor resigned as Britney's business manager actually in 2020 without notice, which coincidentally is about the time where Britney was expressing publicly that she's always been against her father being her sole conservator. This is further used by fans to allege guilt against Lou Taylor in the malicious mismanagement of Britney as a business and as a person. TriStar. TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group is the business management organisation that Britney was under from the time frame of 2008 to 2020, headed by the above Lou Taylor. Notable clients of TriStar include Britney's little sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, Aerosmith's Steve Tyler, Mary J. Blige, Gwen Stefani, Priyanka Chopra, and Meghan Trainor, among others. Spears family, consisting of parents Jamie and Lynn Spears and siblings Brian and Jamie Lynn Spears, Britney's immediate family have had more involvement in the direction of Britney's life than Britney herself. Being involved with a conservatorship, one would assume that those in charge would actually have an intelligent take on the world around them and could act as a kind of guide for Britney because they seemingly know how to do life better than she. But Britney's fans at Exhale have pointed out the mammoth hypocrisies that have been presented during the years of the conservatorship. Examples include Britney and her dancers being forced to partake in random drug and alcohol testing whilst her father would refuse them, even though he's a struggling alcoholic. Britney's been flagged as a dangerous driver and is no longer allowed to drive, even though her mother's reckless driving has killed a 12-year-old boy in the past. Her family have scrutinised Britney's financial management skills, which is part of the reason of the conservatorship, even though Britney's father has filed for bankruptcy due to failed business ventures. Oops, I did it again, Mandela effect. So even though there are potentially hundreds of entries that you could add to this iceberg, I restricted myself to only adding the one that I wanted to talk about the most. So just in case you somehow don't know what a Mandela effect is, basically it's a phenomenon of a large group of people who have a common false memory. And this was dubbed the Mandela effect, as many people believe that former South African President Nelson Mandela died in prison in the late 1900s, as opposed to when he actually died in 2013. So, back to Britney. How do you remember the Oops, I Did It Again music video? Because for me personally, it's Britney in her iconic red latex jumpsuit and the iconic hairdo and the eyeshadow and astronaut love story and of course the headset microphone. But what if I was to tell you that Britney never wore a headset microphone in the music video? Now, if you're anything like me, when I first heard this, you probably now start squinting and having a mini existential crisis. Now, what makes this Mandela effect really weird is that there's dolls of Britney in this red outfit, and it includes the headset. Like, I mean, come on, this one even says video performance collection. Another really weird occurrence is that in the music video, there's actually a scene where it appears that Britney's adjusting her headset. So, what gives? Am I and many others just simply confusing this with some other live performance or misremembering this? But then what about the dolls, huh? Or is this, I don't know, someone going in and removing the headset retrospectively? Like, but then why would you even bother doing that? Or is it just the timelines merging? 2010 theory. So I believe that this entry refers to the rumour presented by one fan that Britney's 2010 breakdown, as mentioned earlier, was actually catalyzed by her getting pregnant and being forced to abort. Now, there isn't actually any supportive evidence to this theory, so I think I'll just carry on. Britney's net worth. Britney's net worth refers to the fact that Britney's net worth is shockingly low, especially considering how much revenue she's brought in over the span of her career. Forbes released an article in 2021 comparing her net worth with fellow pop stars. And even though she's believed to have earned around $600 million throughout her career, her actual net worth is only around $60 million. That's less than half of the net worth of Jennifer Lopez and $50 million lower than Jessica Simpson. It's alleged by fans that this is possibly due to the mismanagement of her funds by her conservators and or her business manager, as mentioned earlier in the iceberg. Tier 8. Truth posts. So I'm thinking that truth posts probably refers to social media posts in which Britney reveals the truth of her life under the conservatorship. Specifically, this iconic post, in which she apologises to her fans for presenting a perfect life on social media, when in reality it's quote-unquote definitely not. Letters of Truth. So Letters of Truth refers to online messages that were released to Britney's fan club over the period from 2004 to 2007. To get access to these messages at the time, you needed to pay $25 per year, and then overall there were about 20 letters that you could read. The letters themselves were more or less diary entries which give insights into Britney's life. There's also a few poems mixed in there, but I think my personal favourite is this little Easter egg in the collection, which is pretty much just a plug for Zoe 101. 2009 voicemails. This refers to voicemails that were released in 2021 by Britney's former manager, Sam Lutfi. Lutfi claims that these voicemails were sent by Britney in 2009, in which she allegedly begs to be released from her conservatorship.
I want out of this conservatorship. I've been brought up by visitation of my babies. By this conservatorship, I'm confined, restrained, and stripped of my civil rights, and I demand the state of California to review this case because I feel it's illegal.
Court hearing. So at this point, there may have been many court hearings about Britney's life, but I believe that this entry is referring to the June 2021 hearing in which Britney famously provides a testimonial on her conservatorship, which just really goes after everyone that's been making her life hell. This testimonial would become the turnaround point in the conservatorship battle and would act as one of the most iconic moments of the Free Britney movement. For the record, 60 hours of footage. This entry refers to the 2008 documentary, Britney for the Record, which was filmed over the span of about 60 days and was marketed to be an intimate look inside of Britney's life during her 2008 comeback. There are really two schools of thought on this documentary. So on one hand, there's the group that sees this film as just a really honest and insightful look into Britney's life. And on the other hand, we have those who say that the documentary is very vague and is more or less just marketing for circus. Whatever your opinion is on the film, there is a really powerful quote that comes from the documentary, which states, "There's no excitement, there's no passion. I have really good days and I have bad days. Even when you go to jail, you know that there's going to be time when you're going to get out. But in this situation, it's never ending. It's just like Groundhog Day, every day." Spied with hidden cameras and microphones in her room. This entry is referring to an investigation led by the New York Times, which revealed that allegedly Britney's father, through a security firm, ran an intense surveillance program on Britney. This program monitored her communications and secretly captured audio recordings from her bedroom, including her interactions and conversations with her boyfriend and children. This information was leaked by a former employee of the security firm, Alex Vlasov. Alex Vlasov would go on record to say that the relentless surveillance operation had helped several people linked to the conservatorship, primarily her father, control every aspect of her life. He is quoted as saying, "It really reminded me of somebody that was in prison," said Mr. Vlasov, and security was put in position to be the security guards essentially. Lou M. Taylor tried to kill her. So this entry refers to the accusation that Britney made publicly through Instagram, stating that Lou Taylor tried to kill her. Britney stated in a quote, "My dad worshipped Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill and would have done anything they asked of him. I think they were trying to kill me. I still to this very day believe that's exactly what they were trying to do." It's assumed that Britney's referring to when she was sent to a mental wellness centre against her will in early 2019, but is there something even more nefarious going on that we don't know about? She was overexploited. As the last entry in this iceberg, I believe that this is a culmination of all of the above entries and really shows that Britney has gone through a lot in her life. Britney's story really is that of the dark side of the entertainment industry, and as a cautionary tale for all entertainers that come after her. And that, my friends, was the Britney Spears Iceberg. Thank you so much for sitting through all of that with us. I hope you feel really satisfied with the new Britney info that we've filled your brain with. If you made it this far and you enjoyed the video, maybe consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. And if you're itching for more Britney content as well as some pop music conspiracies, you may enjoy our last iceberg video as well, Pop Music Conspiracies. Again, thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.